So we're going to go ahead and sand this. It's been about 5 more minutes. Feels like it's about right on the first one. You know, typically they say some of these products, like this one here, says that it sands just as good in 3 hours as it does in an hour. Maybe that might be a benefit to it. But I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the polisher real quick, knock off the first part of the surface, then we're going to sand it just like we do anything else, because to me, you know, I can do this with a polisher, so with any of these products, so it doesn't matter to me if I'm using this. I mean, I can still use my same method, you know, and if it doesn't really save me time, then it's not worth it for me. Okay, I have to say, first feel, sands really good. That sands really nicely. Zgrip sands probably a little bit better than this stuff. I've used it enough, I know. It's a little bit creamier sanding. Okay, noticing right away, this stuff sands a lot moundier. Maybe it's because I've got loaded up on the paper, but it's wanting to wave out. Where this is just smoother, it goes a lot nicer, and this is kind of in the middle. So far, they pretty much do what they say they're going to do. Now I'm going to try now, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to, all of them said 80 grit, so let's try 120 and see with a 1/8 inch DA. This is kind of a short throw DA, so it's not a really fast sander. wow. That's all I have to say. This stuff sands almost like polyester glazing, but a little bit faster. Okay, guys. That is just way better than any of the other stuff. I already know because I've used the other two products, and this gold, I mean, I'm using 120, and I've only used one sheet. This sheet's ready to toss, okay, and it still cuts it. Okay, I'm sold. I tell you. Okay, so anyway, we have the Evercoat Gold, and I'm going to tell you that you probably don't need to glaze it. Here I am with a worn out piece of sandpaper, and this thing's still cutting. Normally I would not run a sandpaper this long. I want to save the other two sheets for the other stuff. Check this out. Okay, so, I mean, I have to tell you guys, this really works good. This stuff is amazing. Okay, so we're going to go to the 120 grit still. I'm going to stay with 120 because I want something really that bites, grabs into this stuff. It really does a number on it. Well, 80 is really more what I use. So I'm going straight over to the evercoat other stuff because from experience, if you don't get on this right away, you don't sand this stuff right away, Okay, so I've sanded this with the same type of effort than I put into the other. I'm hitting a lot more metal, so my paper's wearing out really fast. But what I'm noticing is it's moundy everywhere you go with this product. You know, that can be taken out with primer and thinning and blocking, but you know, you could probably save yourself some time if you just went with this product. Yeah, if it's not a lot of it, you know, if you only have to use a gallon on your whole car for an extra, what is that, 20 bucks? You know, it's you know, if you're getting your bodywork pounded straight, I mean, that's going to save me half the time in glazing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just buzz this down a little bit more and put a coat of this stuff over it. It works amazing. Okay, let's try this fresh piece of 120 on here. Normally I would use 60 or 80. In fact, you're going to need to use 60 or 80 on this stuff. But you can use a finer paper with this product and it sands really fast. Well, I do have to say the zgrip is actually a little bit better still yet than that. But I'm going to say that, you know what, if you're going to spend the money, the extra, it's $26 for zgrip, another $10 to go with the gold. In all honesty, you're going to save your money back in labor time. This sands way faster than any of the others. And I'm using a brand new sheet of 120. Okay, so let's do summary here. I'm going to tell you guys, really was shocked. So anyway, if you look at this, how it's well feathered in just so nicely. I'm going to tell you, it's almost like polyester putty. Almost like polyester putty, but it even sands a little bit faster. So that is pretty bitchin'. I mean, you look at that finish on there, it is super smooth. I need to do a little bit more sanding on this still. It's a little moundy right here, but not bad. The Z-grip feathered in really nicely. It is definitely better than this product here, noticeably better. But I'm not really, I think if you're a DIY guy, this might be okay, but I would spend the money and buy this stuff. I mean, I don't work for evercoat. I don't work for any of these people. I'm just, and it didn't used to be this way. I bought several products and tried them many years ago when they used to have the gold Bondo, and they used to have all these different ones. And guys go, oh, this one sounds better than that one, and all this stuff. I really couldn't tell any difference. But with this stuff, man, I mean, and even this is quite a bit better than the cheap stuff. So, well, I guess this video kind of helped me out too, because I'm definitely not buying this one anymore. I'm going to go ahead and just step up to the better stuff. I could sand that in a quarter the amount of time. So, and that's set up the longest out of all three of these. So usually when they set up longer, it doesn't want to sand as easy. But that stuff, man, I mean, that stuff, no wonder why they call it rage. I mean, it is bitchin'. It is a rage. So, if you can afford it, if you can't afford it, listen, here's how you can do it cheap. You can buy the cheap stuff and hit the stuff with 60, bury it with polyester, sand it, put a coat of glazing on it, it'll be fine. You can do a good job body work with that. But it's going to be a little more work. You're going to pay for it in time. You can do the same thing by saving $10 a gallon by buying this zgrip. And I'm not done sanding, of course. I'm going to run through here and sand this. I just don't want to do it all on camera, bore you guys out. But you can buy this stuff, and it does save quite a bit of time. But for another $10, you're almost to this stuff here. It is definitely faster sanding than this. So I'm definitely going to have to just say that this evercoat gold right here is every bit worth 36 bucks a gallon. Every bit. So if you've never tried it, definitely try it. And if you've done any body work, you will definitely notice the difference. You won't even waste your time with the other stuff. Now, you could do, if you have a deeper fill or something like that, you can do your first coat and just hit it with the 40 grit on your polisher and knock it off, and then use this on final. That might be an economical way. Because like if I hit this with 40 real quick and then I just ran over it and skimmed it with that, it'd probably be fine. Or if you really want to use zgrip, you can. I mean, it's definitely a middle of the road. You can tell, the difference between this and this and this. I mean, all three of them you can tell. So, give it a shot. I honestly, spend the money on the gold. If you've never done body work before, try the cheap stuff once, and you'll find out. Really, you'll know what you're up against. Because what it does is this one sands. It just wants to sand in a mound. It wants to mound up over the sand. Your paper does not want to cut into this as much. So you have to use a heavier sandpaper. You have to use 40 grit or something like that to really make this stuff work out. And then you got to bury it with a lot of primer. It works, but I'm going to tell you, you can save a lot of money on primer probably if you went with this. So you're going to pay for it. It's going to pay for itself, I think, in the long run. And definitely give it a shot. Alright, so that's it for the comparison on the evercoat products.